Hey, what's good? Good evening, family. This is Joe checking into the No Picks podcast.
What up, y'all? This is Ty.
What's
Thanks for
good,
joining us
Ty?
today. Today we're gonna react to a Candance Owens comment from the whatever podcast. Shout out to y'all. Y'all doing big things over there.
Yes, sir. Shout out.
So we're
Whatever
gonna
podcast.
take a look at this, and we are gonna react and have a conversation about it.
Yeah, so let's run the clip and we'll get active. All right, here we go.
Hilarious, which is saying that men used to have to do a lot less and get a very high value woman. He's like, so think about your grandparents and your grandmother. She was a high value woman. She raised the kids. She was conservative. She was beautiful, all of these things. And now we live in this moment where everyone's kind of a hoe and you have to work harder to get a woman that doesn't have any self-respect or any value. And I just thought it was a really interesting video. It was obviously funny, but he was saying something. And we live in Hoeflation now, where everybody in their own capacity is selling their bodies. And unfortunately, these are the options that men have. No, I'm not saying it's stunning to me that women talk about what men need to be and what men need to be, but I think just kind of the complete disintegration of when I look at what my grandmother looked like in pictures. She passed in 2013, and just how classy and how beautiful and how much I wanted to be like her. And now I look at women today, and I just think, man, I feel bad for guys. Like
Man.
Wow. Yo, Candace, when it comes to like relationships and social, like cultural
Yeah,
things, like she be cooking, bro. Like
yeah,
she.
yeah. I know a lot of people don't like her, but like, yo, like she. I mean, you can't really deny she's a smart woman, right? Although some people may argue she used her smartness for evil, right? But like, I mean, I think she sounds very sensible in this situation. What do you think?
Yeah, same. So I'll say that when it comes to like marriage, relationships, cultural things, I think that my views are more aligned with hers.
Right.
Politically, very different. We're not speaking on some of her political stances. I know she also is a Republican and
Right.
things and has like these kind of like these right views. She's entitled to. But as
Mm.
far as cultural issues in this one right here, I think she was spot on. And this is not a new term. Hopeulation is not a term
Yeah.
that, as she said, she saw a video about it and then it made sense to her and it clicked.
Right.
It clicked for me too. It's this idea that now men are paying so much more
Yeah.
for the current modern woman or Western woman and getting far less out of those relationships. Expected to do so much more, but getting so much less out of that. Whereas
Right.
back then, with women of days in the past, you were getting high value women. You didn't have to put up so much up front. You didn't have to have thousands of dollars. You didn't have to have the 666, the six pack, 6 feet tall, six
Yeah.
figure income. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
had a woman
Yeah.
who was happy and proud to be at home and to take care of the kids and to be the nurturer and kind of to play her role and knew that her femininity and everything that she offered was so important, just as important as everything that the man was expected to do, right?
Right.
So that's this, and I completely agree with that, bro. Like, and we're not gonna, I'm not can't talk about all women, right? But
Right.
if we're talking about modern women, if we're talking about Western women, I do agree that the cost is so much higher for women nowadays, and
Yeah.
you get far less back, bro.
Yeah.
Women expect you to pay. We just had a clip where a shorty was, I don't know, she looked 400 pounds, talking about,
Yeah.
you got to pay for my Uber, you got to
Yeah.
pay for the date, you got to
Yeah.
pay, if I need a babysitter, you got to pay for my babysitter, you got
Yeah.
to pay for all this. And meanwhile, she's morbidly obese.
Yeah.
Uh, I would say objectively very unattractive, not just obese, and
Yeah.
demanding so much. And I'm just like, what are you offering, shorty?
Yeah.
Like, what are you offering? Like, what exactly are you offering?
Yeah.
So I think Hoeflation is real, bro. It's
Right.
happening. What do you think about the term, bro?
I mean, I can't disagree, right? Like she mentioned in the clip, back in the day, you kind of look at your grandma like, she's a wholesome, she took care of the household and stuff like that. But today, like, the values are different, right? Like, and
Right,
it's like a badge of honor to be like a hoe, right? You got the slut walk, right? Amber
right.
Rose a couple years ago did that, and 21 Savage was looking fucking stupid out there, standing around, standing with
I
her,
knew
like,
he
bro,
wasn't gonna be there for
bro,
long.
bro, you look crazy. Um,
21.
all the like the sex work is glorified, right? And like, you mean
Right,
basically being a hoe, shaking your ass, even if you're not involved in sex work, being on Instagram, shaking your ass, being on a yacht, taking pictures for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that
right.
shit is
OnlyFans.
you're popping. Like, a woman like that is popping today. You know what I
Right,
mean? And it's unfortunate because, like, those aren't the women that you want really to be the mother of your goddamn kids,
right.
right? But my beef, I have a beef with women as far as this go, right? So my beef is this: it's not that every woman aspires to be like those women, right? Because they don't, right? But the
Right.
problem is, you'll be hard pressed to find a woman at all who condemns that shit, and that's a problem for me. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's I think that's the
Right.
actual problem. There have always been hoes, right?
Right.
But at least back in the day, motherfuckers be like, okay, cool, that hoe's a hoe,
You could
and even
distinguish between them.
yeah, and the good girls would be like, oh, she's a hoe. I would never want to be like her. Now
Right.
the good girls are like, oh well, you can't really judge her. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows her situation? Who knows her heart? She may not be a hoe in her heart. She may be a hoe in her body, but her heart can
Right.
be pure. And you like, bro,
Right.
is it first of all, A, what does that even mean? And B, I think women kind of want to women don't want to really want to pass judgment on quote unquote hoes or sluts or whatever you want to call them because they want to reserve the right to be hoes if that shit ever so happens.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So you
Yeah.
they don't want to throw stones at her if someone could dig up their past and be like, well, I mean, you kind of banged all three of these dudes in 1 week, so are you a hoe now?
Right.
And that's my issue. No, like everybody, like the women want to reserve the right to do that shit, like Sexy Red and all that. You know what I mean? We talked about all the women who
Yeah.
are glorified for being hoes, Sukiana and all that shit. They're glorified for being hoes, but you will be hard pressed to find women that are like, all right, you'll find some, but 8 out of 10 are going to be like, well, you know, she kind of doing her thing. This is how she get to the bag, blah blah. And it's like you be like,
Right.
all right, like there's no limit to what like and those same women, like even right now, what's the porn star chick that keeps coming out with videos talking about some how she get rid of men. Mia Khalifa. Mia
Nick.
Khalifa keeps coming out with videos talking about some. Oh well, if you ain't happy in the marriage, then leave. Of course you ain't happy. Your man probably kept bringing up the fact that you kept getting trains ran on you, and people kept probably sending him emails with a random penis in your
Right.
mouth. So of course you ain't happy. Your man bringing that up. Like if she could erase her goddamn history and find a man, I'm sure she would. But she just can't,
Yeah.
so she's trying to cope. This is coping for these chicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
No, for
I don't
sure.
buy that shit at all.
No, absolute, for sure, bro. I'm with you. There's a bar from Cardi B that always sticks out of my mind. One, because she was capping, and two, because some women just went with it. You know what I mean? And that's I
Yeah,
don't cook, I don't clean. Well, let me
yeah,
show you how I got this ring from
right,
WAP. But it's
right,
like the women now they want so much. You got to be handsome, attractive. You got to be a porn star in a sack. You
right.
got to have riz. You got to be an intellectual. You got to be emotionally intelligent. You got to have all this. But you cannot. But if she can't cook and that's a problem, oh, you're just a misogynist. Oh,
Right.
you want to make me a
Or we
slave
could
in the
just
house.
order. Or we could
We
just
can
order
just
all the
order
time.
food.
Like
Right.
what?
Can you
Like
cook? Can you clean? And they hate that question. And that big chick in that video we reacted to, she was like, let me tell you about how to sniff out a broke guy. If he asks what you bring to the table, he's probably broke. And I'm like, really? Shout out to the Godfather. Sign language. Shame, insults, guilt need to be right. Right?
right,
When you cannot win the argument, they always revert to sign language. So because we have a
right.
boundary, because we have an expectation, because we have a preference, now we're shamed for that. Oh, I'm broke because I'm asking, what is it that you give? What value are you going to add to my life? Let's
Right.
change the expression. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people get triggered by the what do you bring to the table? What value will you
Yeah.
bring to my life? And don't say the JJ because the box comes standard on every
Everybody.
female.
Everybody.
Every female, it comes standard.
It's a machine to me because all right. So think about every popular female artist. You know what I mean? Well, female rapper, right?
Yeah.
Or Nicki. You got who else?
Meg the
You got Nicki.
Stallion,
You got
Ice Spice,
Meg,
Sexy Red,
Beyonce,
Stinkiana.
Sierra.
Oh yeah,
Bruh,
Sierra.
these women, bro, they market being single and being free and not needing a man.
Right,
And Sierra take her ass home to her multi-millionaire boyfriend. Beyonce take
right,
her ass home to her multi-millionaire boyfriend.
Right.
Even a girl from City, Young Miami is crying because she wanted Diddy side chicks. Right?
Yeah.
He got an
Right.
Asian chick pregnant
Yeah.
recently, so she crying. Right?
Yeah.
Fucking nigga get the bag, but you crying because you a side chick. You still getting the bag, but you a side chick, so you crying.
Right.
Even the others, I don't know the other city girl. She with Uzi. She all in love with that boy. Right? Yo, the women that are high up on the food chain that other women want to be like are pushing this narrative of hey, we should all be single and be hoes and do whatever we want. But those
Right.
women aren't single. They probably are hoes. But there's, I mean, I don't think no,
Yeah.
Sierra and Beyonce. I take that up. But like, yo, they're not single. They selling this lifestyle to y'all, and y'all eating this shit up, and y'all going home to y'all. I don't
Right.
know, like hoe ways and just not making no money. They just making money off y'all.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
to me, it's
Pretty
crazy.
much.
It's
Pretty
crazy.
much. Just making money off of them. And the point that you said initially in the beginning for me, like, is like one of the biggest points. Like, it's nowadays it's just hard to distinguish between the 304s and the shorties who are actually decent women. And that's
Right.
because the women who are good, maybe they're, you know, good at this point. Maybe they just, they're kind of conservative. They hang around the women who are engaging in
Yeah.
this promiscuous
Yeah.
behavior. They
Yeah.
don't condone it. And sometimes they endorse it. They defend it. So it's like, I can't tell the difference between the shorties who are promiscuous and out there just being reckless and giving the
Right.
box to everybody, and the shorties who are actually just decent women who are more humble, who are looking, who see the value of men. We can't
Yeah.
tell the difference anymore, bro. They all got the same colored wigs. They all got the lashes. Some of them getting the work done in their bodies. Like, you
Right.
can't tell the difference anymore, bro. It's like
Yeah.
they're cookie cutter women. They're all trying to model these IG influencers and all these chicks. Look at Black China. She's trying to be a born again version. She removed
Yeah.
some tats off her body. She's no longer doing some of the promiscuous stuff. She's condoning it now. Like,
Right.
then later on in life, when it hits you, at that point it might be too late.
Yeah.
And that. But Hoeflation, bro, it is real. It is real, and I feel like nowadays I feel bad for men. And Candace Owens said that in the video. She's like, I kind of feel bad for men because it's you'd be hard pressed to go on a date, bro, and find a shorty who isn't covered in tats, isn't already has racked up tons of bodies,
Right.
isn't wearing her natural hair, is okay with possibly cooking, or maybe is against, like there are so many. You just can't find a shorty anymore now. Isn't already a single mom. You know how hard it is, bro, to find a shorty who's not a single
Yeah.
mom,
Fine.
not
Very
covered in
fine.
tats, doesn't have work, doesn't have work, like a combination of those, doesn't have a freaking personality disorder like BPD or
Yeah.
some. It's so hard to find a woman now. The dating scene is so rotten in the West, bro. Like,
Right.
it's sad. Wholeflation, and they still demand all these things, bro.
Right.
Wholeflation,
It's a
wholeflation.
thing. It's a thing.
It's a real thing, bro.
Yeah.
So I listen. I want our people in the comment section. What do you guys think about this term "hoflation"? And it's not a new term. I know y'all have heard about it. Do you think it's real? Do you think that modern women are Western women? Not all women. We're talking specifically about modern and Western women. Do you think that they are demanding way too much from men, but giving us way less than the women of the past, than your grandma, your nana, your great grandma, the women before Sex in the City, before feminism, before all these things? Like, do you think hoflation is real? If you have experiences, like, share them, because I'm telling you now, I kind of agree with it. And every day we see videos. There was a video on TikTok where there was like, how much does a man have to make for you to be okay with that? Can a man make 75K and you would date him? And she's just like, no. Man, mind you, she looks just like Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. So I'm like, it's always these Piglet looking bitches, like,
Yeah.
always want to, like. But this is the thing though, bro. Like, they don't. It's like 75K is laughed at now,
Yeah.
and it's like, bruh, the average income in the states is like 44,
Yeah.
43.
They don't want
You're
to hear
talking
that.
about a man who makes 75,
They don't want to hear that.
but they won't cook, they won't clean, they don't want to have no kids. They just want to
Nope.
ride the carousel and then try to find some beta who's going to marry them at the end of the day and take them with a single child. It's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating. So what's your final thoughts, and then we'll let the comment section
I mean,
go
I
in on
think
this.
we said all there is to say. I mean,
Yeah, bro. Shout out to Candace. Shout out to
yeah, you
whatever
did your thing,
podcast.
Candace. Whatever podcast, y'all
We
did
love
y'all
what
thing on
y'all
this one.
doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it up. Keep giving us content to react to, and it'll be awesome. Listen, guys, let's start the conversation. Hit up the comments. We'll definitely engage. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so y'all get notifications when we start to put out new stuff.
Yes,
Check
sir.
out our shorts. We're working on them, Johns. Let us know thoughts. We need thoughts. We need thoughts. We still
We
building
need
this shit.
thoughts, and we're trying to clean up the language. We're trying to
Right,
clean up, and we
right.
know we're trying to get monetized. So please excuse us. We're trying to clean up the language.
Yeah.
That's how we talk. You know what I mean? We do have extensive vocabularies, but we some Philly dudes, man. We was born and
Yeah,
raised in
yeah.
Philly, man. We gotta try. We gotta change a little
We in the
thing.
walk stages right now. We ain't trying to run.
All right. This is Joe checking out a No Picks Concast.
All right.